Evening, my name is Mrs. Julie. In case you are new here, please consider to subscribe. Don't forget to put a notification bell and have a comment. Just put it in the comment section. This side of the world, things they have spoiled. I mean, it is rotten, as I said. Canary Mugume, after visiting Rwanda and seeing what God put in the girls of Rwanda, he finally kissed someone by accidentally, and the wife, remember the wife, she puts a spy on him. Things they are rotten this side of a world of our own news anchor, that is Canary Mugume at NTV. Things they have turned it again. Married people, this lady, this young girl, introduced her husband from United States of America to Uganda, and many of people, they're abusing her that she is after money who can even marry a crippled man. I don't know about that, but we shall come to know about that. But this is a love. Crippled money, they not being to love, they have to love. And the new song that is on the board right now, Graffiti Omutuja, and this young lady, it is called Empiso. Yes, it has broad, long, tall, and short. As in Uganda, as we speak, the doctors that in strike, that they used their uniform in the wrong way, whereby this song, if you just watch it with your daughter or your son, tomorrow she will be spoiled immediately. And complaining from this side of the world, this young girl made a song with Graffiti Omutuju, and the day of the video, he did not appear, and they are demanding for the video fixing. The social media in-law, they are not even quiet. They are hitting him east and west and central as they are preparing him for the songs, yes, here and there. Josan Becky, after coming out posting her critical condition of her son, many of you came up and abused her that she's looking for a stand of her new song, and she has come today on SB4 Media. She came to claim and to come at least clear the air that the son is in the critical condition. He needs a prayer. There where Bad Black came in and told Joseph Becky that things, they will be well with your son. If you see Bad Black right now, he has sense of praying for someone. Remember, she is expecting very soon. She's going to have a baby. We don't know which gender, but for her, she will never keep quiet. Of course, very soon we are going to know the gender of her baby Bamba. Yes, this is Madrick and Rickman with Sheila Gashumba. People, they are saying, after yesterday me posting that a video of Manrick is saying that do not slap a woman, just walk away. People, they are saying that he's looking for a sympathy to go back to Sheila Gashumba. The question in Twitter, they were asking, are they still in love with Sheila Gashumba? I don't know about that, but tell us in the comment section. Bruno K today, he came up and thanked Varida Nakaziwe to get good care of her daughter, that is Briella Chigundu. Yes, remember Preila Chigundu, she is a brand ambassador of the school that she's in right now, that I cannot even speak it out because I'm not paid. But Farida Nakaziba, thank you so much. Pressure cash, while right now she is in Dubai. She came to work. She's working with one of the companies that makes a freelancer. Many people, they are saying it will end in tears because we have seen many people working with that company and failing, going back to Uganda without nothing. Lydia Jasmine, they say that he's still with Eddie Kenzo. There are some Eddie Kenzo used one word. He said there are something. We don't know how true is that, but Galaxy FM today, they bring up that video. While Grace Khan putting on very well, very good as a woman, who is expecting to get married. We don't know when was this, but my name is Mrs. Julie. Let me leave you with a video. Enjoy yourself.
I have learned of the response from police regarding the meeting that we did have. Largely, many of the things communicated therein came up and we responded to them. The question of too many vehicles following us and so on, some things are really not within our control, because when we set off, we'll have some vehicles with us, different leaders and so on, but along the way, different people come to join us. We cannot control that, yeah? And that's what we were telling police. We have control over our vehicles, those that we get to move with and so on, but then several other people get to join us. And that's why we keep calling on whoever comes to join us for different reasons, because people keep coming to join us. This one wants to run for this position, this one wants to stand for whichever position, and so they come to join us. It's okay to join us, just be disciplined. Don't come and cause chaos, and then they will say NUP leaders or that kind of thing. The question of, I saw they indicated that security officers should not be harassed for that kind of thing. We asked them, when they raised that issue, we asked them for an example where that has happened, and there was not quite a clear response, because no one should harass anyone. The same way we tell police don't harass us, we shouldn't, we cannot get to harass them. Sometimes, of course, there are exchanges when they seem to operate contrary to what we agreed upon. For example, in Mukono, we agreed upon a venue we are meant to use, then the DPC was saying, no, you're going to use another. And so we got to engage them. I don't know if that's what they're calling harassment, because when we are engaging and saying, but why? This is what we agreed upon, why are you taking us there? I don't think that's harassment. I'm hoping that's not what they are referring to, because they've not pointed out a particular case of this one was harassed how? I don't know. But what we have committed to, as we have always done, is to observe the law. Right from the time of notifying the police, we get to notify them. And they get to share if they do have any concerns with us. We ask them to stop the biases, because, as we have said, some venues have been used by other political actors. Then when it's NUP to use that venue, to ask for that venue, the venue owners, sometimes it is town councils and so on, they say, police, the DPC has said, no, you guys cannot use this venue. Why? I was hoping that would come through their communication. It did not. They committed that they will not repeat that, because it has been happening. Why does somebody use a venue, political entity? 3 weeks later, NUP is going to use the same venue, seeking to use that same venue, and they say, no, you cannot use it. Why? If it's out of bounds for political actors, then no political actor should use it. And also there should be a clear reason why. So, as we have been operating to try and operate within the law, our hope is that the leadership within the police force and the actors therein will observe the law. There won't be any challenge. And by the way, what's critical is all the times that we have not had interferences from police and the military, our activities happen smoothly. The trouble normally is when police comes and the military, then they begin to beat people, then tear gas and so on, then there are injuries, then there is, unnecessary scaffolds and so on. So whenever they do not disrupt us, everything is peaceful. Theirs is to regulate, and that's why we met them to say, let's agree. And now when we agree and go to the field, don't then go against what we agreed upon and become high-handed and so on. So as far as the law is concerned, we are committed to continue operating within the law as we have been doing. One, the issue of human rights violations, generally speaking, is something that we have been at and continue to be at. Of course, the time he moved us out of Parliament, he then got us back in, and normalcy did return. And people were saying, so you got out with what strategy? Now you have gone back. The issues you were concerned about, have they gotten out of the way, and so on? But anyhow, that time we got back to Parliament, and not much had happened. But what's important is to keep using all the different avenues, as you have been seeing. For example, I did lead members of Parliament who went and visited these people, those that are in jail. And they were very excited and saying, we have never seen members of Parliament come to visit us. We normally hear them talk about us on TV and radio for political mileage. But at least you people have come to interact with us. That had not happened. We didn't stop at that. We followed up in court, and we even stood surety for them when court was saying their parents, their wives, and so on, did not qualify as substantial sureties. So we said, okay, as members of parliament, we'll stand surety for them. Of course, eventually they bungled that up, and we are still following up. You saw on the floor when government was pretending and saying through Balam that, you see, we don't know these people, we want to follow up and so on. And that's why I said he was just being excited, because the executive has got all the information and all these issues that we have been pressing them against. But I said, no problem. Let me retable that list. And I retabled it. And I said, no one should have any excuse, whether it be a minister, whether it be the prime minister who told us Chibalama was arrested and is in the hands of the state and so on, for them to feign memory loss and say they have forgotten. I retabled those lists and said we still want action. And we said, even as a follow-up in Parliament, we'll use all avenues. For example, we filed another matter for the missing persons, saying court should press the state to produce these people, to account for these people. That's the matter that is in court. We are following up with the families of these people whose loved ones are missing. We are waiting to see what comes out of court, because the state is responsible for all Ugandans. And so the state should be accountable for all Ugandans. After all, there is overwhelming evidence that these ones were abducted and so on, where they say, I've had some ministers saying, but you see some of these people, they are in Dubai, they are in Canada, and that kind of thing. Produce the evidence to the effect that actually they left the country, as you're saying, because otherwise, where did they pass? Do you not have any control? If you're saying, we are sure these people are in Canada, okay, why Canada? Why not, I don't know, South Africa? Why not? If you're saying you're sure they're in Canada, produce the evidence. That has not happened. So all of these matters, we keep following up on. Of course, normally some things will become overwhelming. Even for the media, they get to focus on particular happenings. The media has been focused on the corruption here in Parliament, and that's important too. So it gets to overshadow all these other efforts, including court and so on. It's understandable sometimes that there gets to be a focus on that, because Ugandans are saying our money is being stolen right from Parliament. Can the leadership of Parliament get to account? And so there's been a lot of attention on that issue, and it's critical that all of these issues get to be focused on. And that's why when I called Balam a novice, some people in the NRM got annoyed and said I was being uncourteous. But I said, well, a novice is somebody who is new to a particular field. So he was new to the executive, but maybe he had a bit of excitement, and also he wanted to show that, you see, as they normally some of them do, you opposition people, you don't care about these people. Us in government, we are the ones who care. And I said, oh, wow, you're the guys who locked up these fellows, you're the ones who disappeared them. We who have been following up in court, elsewhere, Human Rights Commission, and so where there was no help anywhere, and so on and so forth, you're saying we don't care. And that's what the NRM propagandists keep painting out there. These guys don't care about you. Okay, you who cares about them? Why did you in the first place lock them up? Why did you abduct them? And that kind of thing. So I think he was trying to look for a bit of relevance. But on my part, I said, for the avoidance of doubt, no one in the executive should pretend that information has not been availed. And that's why I tabled that list again of the people who are in jail, the Olivia Lutayas and others, those who have been disappeared, the Chibalamas, whom Prime Minister Nabanja said was arrested by the state and so on. I tabled to remind them again that, look, let's not feign ignorance or memory loss over this issue. My colleague was in this office the past, times and so on. What has happened, and now when we hear the EC saying, no, that should have been done a long while ago, why did it not come maybe as a private member's bill or that kind of thing? It's coming now. Anyway, it can come at any time, even away from what the EC chairperson is saying. But importantly, almost every parliament, there are reforms that are passed. But normally the reforms that are passed are those that the NRM wants, and they will use their numbers. In the 10th Parliament, they passed reforms, including changing the name of the Electoral Commission to Independent Electoral Commission. That was a reform, according to them, including removing the age limit. That was a reform, according to them. Yeah? And they keep using their numbers for that. In 2016, after the 2016 election, Amama Mbabazi went to court, petitioned court. You remember Amama Mbabazi versus Yoweri Museveni, Electoral Commission and others. And the Supreme Court laid out 10 recommendations regarding our electoral processes that have got to be acted upon. Government keeps running away from that issue, and they'll use their numbers to do what it is that they want to do. And so that goes to show you that when you hear people talking about, okay, now let's bring reforms, because Norbert Mao was the first to talk about that issue. Now he's a minister. And that matter settled, because they will not allow you to, table meaningful reforms. We hear that the state wants, the reform, the major reform they want to bring in this particular parliament is to change the presidential system such that the president of the country gets to be elected by parliament. That's the major reform we hear they want to push through. And we have learned that this time they don't want to do it using NRM members. They want to do that through an opposition field. Because you see, in the past, for the removal of term limits, they used the statutory cause and others. Removing age limits, Raphael Majezi and others, NRM. And there was always a lot of backlash from the population. So this time, the information we get is that they want to go through somebody from the opposition to bring and table a private members' bill regarding reforms. Then the state will take over that, the Attorney General and government generally, because, the laws allow them to, as they have done, take over private members' bills, and then they'll use it for what they want. That's when they will get to insert that parliamentary system where the president is elected by parliament and so on. They will not focus on any other things that are critical. And then they'll tell the population, but you see, this bill was tabled by an opposition member. For us, we just made adjustments here and there, and then they'll use their numbers to do what it is that they want to do. So we need to be very alert as the people of Uganda that some of these, the motives, the intentions, needs to be very critically looked at. That said, now that we know that they normally want to use that manipulatively, table reforms, and then they'll use that for what they want. They will not give you any of the good things that are, beneficial for our electoral processes. We have always said that our biggest challenge in our country is not so much the constitution or the laws, but constitutionalism, the spirit of the constitution. We don't have that. This country has some of the best laws world over. Of course, yes, our constitution has been torn apart, amended here and there and so on, but even that which is left, if we had the spirit of the constitution, if it was to be acted upon, we would not have the challenges that we do have. But because that spirit is not in place, the goodwill is not in place, even if you amend it to what extent. So the problem we must be dealing with is not so much these reforms, which when tabled will be used now against us because they have their own agenda. Our laws, for example, don't allow for rigging. But doesn't rigging happen? We saw what happened. You all saw the videos. Ballot stuffing, we saw soldiers taking, pre-ticked ballots and that kind of thing. Who of them was arrested? Do our laws as they are allow that? Do you need to change the law in any way regarding that matter? Because the law is very clear. Rigging is not acceptable. The involvement of the army and so on. Yes, people can make a case of let's strengthen it and so on, but even that which is in place. How many of those soldiers who were taking ballot boxes were arrested? Ballot papers, how many were arrested? Where rigging happened and so on. How many people were arrested? Where violence was meted out on the people. How many were arrested? Where bribery was happening in broad daylight during these by-elections and so on.
tumiddeko nsembe zaayo babi wange nga kati kodyo nkutumiddeko n'abaana abaffe bonna mwebale nnyo mwebalire ddala osanga Museveni we tunaaba tumugjeeko onompayo abalongo.
Omu ne mutume yange waswa omulala ne mutume ya mutabani wange so omu ye Bobby omu ye Solomon.
Ssaabasajja Kabaka Bulule yasiimanga n'alabikako eri abantu be twabeeranga basanyufu era abantu nga babeera ku kimu omutanda asiimye n'alabikako gye tuli yatujjiranga ne message abantu message oba oli awo abamu tebagifokasingangako olw'essanyu lye baayina olw'okuba nti asiimye okulabikako gye bali. Essaawa eno message ye yatuleeteranga ebigambo bye yajjanga nabyo ng'abireetedde abantu be byeyongera buli lukya okweyongera okukola amakulu.
Ebintu bingi ebyakolebwa effutwa obujja obukyayi era ebimu bikyagenda mu maaso n'okutuuka kati. Newankubadde nga bino byonna byagenderera kusaanyawo Buganda, ffe tulowooza nti okumalawo ebiwundu bino byonna n'okwongera okunyweza obumu bwa Buganda n'ebitundu ebirala twetaaga obufuzi obujjudde obwenkanya.
Eyo message omutanda gye yajja nayo senga yali tetukwatako yandibadde tagidelivalinga mu bantu be. Yandibadde eyo message agidelivalinga eri mu meeting z'abataka mu meeting z'obwakabaka naye bw'abanga yasiima najja n'agireeta mu bantu be. Eyo sigina eraga nti abantu be bonna bakwatibwako ku nsonga za Buganda n'ensonga z'obwakabaka. Kati olwaliro gwe bw'otuulawo otudde ng'ozijjagalira abaana abasazeewo okubeera concerned ku ki ekigenda mu maaso eri kabaka waabwe yakeera enkya n'abagamba nti waliwo abeffutwa ab'obujja abeevumbye okubeera nga basaanyawo Buganda. Olwaliro nga olaba kabaka talabikako mu kubeera nga kabaka talabikako buli omu yeebuuza kabaka aliwa bakedde ku makya bakugamba nti head of security wa kabaka naye talabikako. Omuntu omulamba atalinga mpiso akulira security ya kabaka nti amisinga amajene gadikiralinga nti talabikako. Gwebyo n'obiraba n'oga nti olina sigala ng'otudde nti muneye temulaba abakulu mukamwa ebyo ebintu mubiveeko. Nga lwaki ebbanga abantu lye bamaze nga terabalaba kabaka waabwe ye period yemu omukuumi mwabulidde bwe batandise okwebuuza kabaka waabwe aliwa gw'obagaye nti abalabye abakulu mukamwa era babi be bavumaganya Obuganda.
Now, for us as UPDF for now, we are counting him absent from duty. After 21 days of his disappearance, he will be declared away without official leave. Now, when you're a wall, you become now a suspect. So we look for you in that angle. For now, we look with open saying maybe, no, we give you what you call benefit of doubt. Maybe you come back, there's an issue that has taken you away. Now, after 21 days, we declare you a wall and we institute a board of inquiry. What happened to this officer? Did he actually disappear on his own? Did he run away? Or he was kidnapped?
Ng'olaba ebyo ng'osigala otudde ng'otunula bw'osazeewo okutunula ate n'otandika okuga nti abali concerned be babi. Nnaku ntono emabega monument ya Ssekabaka Muteesa wa Lugembe yamenyeddwa. Bobi Wine ye yagimenye, ffe twatume abagimenye. Ekyo ekimotoka ekyageze ne kijjawo monument ya Ssekabaka Muteesa wa Lugembe kya Nuupu era mwabaddemu bafuutu soja be bamenye monument. Kabaka bw'akugamba nti waliwo abeevumbye okusaanyawo Buganda ng'ebyafaayo bya Buganda bitandise okugibwawo mu kibuga, gw'osigale ng'otudde abasazeewo okubeera concerned mbu be babi. Kyogamba ekyo kyetaagisa Bobi Wine kulagira nti bannange mujje mulabe monument yaggiddwawo ebyafaayo bya Buganda babimalawo. Ekyo kabaka yakyogera ng'akyogerera mu bantu be. Bw'amala okudelivalinga message eyo ategeeza nti mubeere concerned. Olwaleero nolaba abataka basituse balesewo Ssaabataka ate bagenzi wa Museveni nti abawe ettaka. Gwe ekyo kikola sense nti abakozi ba putopu bagenze wa mukwano gwa putopu bamusabe emirimu. Kye kibafuula abakozi bange, ate abakozi bange bagenze kusaba mulimu walala. Kati mbankyali mukama waabwe. Bwe banga abataka bavudde ku Ssaabataka ne bagenda ate basabe ettaka ewalala ne batalisaba Ssaabataka, ebyo abaana ne babitunulira ne beebuuza ebibuuzo nti bannange kiki kino. Nogambye mulabye abakulu mu kamwa banamwe muvumaganya Obuganda. Nga Kabaka yabagamba nti waliwo ab'obujja ki nti bwe balaba nti abantu basuuta Kabaka, bwe bamulaba beeyala, bwe baba balina bye basabye bajja babisaba Kabaka. N'oli naye yafuna obujja ayagala buli omu ajje asabe ye nga bwe bakola ku Kabaka, n'afuna obujja n'aga nti nange kenyini balina okunkola ebyo obwo si bwe bujja. Ebyo byennyini si byayagala. Olwaleero buli omu agende ng'avunna majaali, abasumba bavunna majaali, baseeka abakulembeze b'obusiraamu bavunna majaali, baani bavunna majaali, abataka bagenze vunna majaali, buli omu abayimbi bagenze kusaba. Obwo tebwali bujja. Abantu nga bavaayo beebuuza ki kyatuuka Kabaka waffe tetumulaba, bwabanga ne head of security abuziddwawo. Gwe oyinza obutabeera concerned oba oliko ekikyamu era oba totegeera omutwe gwe oba olina okuddayo mu kyogero baddemu bagunyige bupya. Kyogamba ebyo byonna era byetaaga muntu nti Bobi Wine yalina omugamba okubeera concerned. Kabaka yakiraba n'agaaguna omulembe ngukwasizza bavubuka ng'amaze okulaba nti abakadde tebaliimu nsa ku bigenze maaso. Abantu bye balabye babuuza Kabaka waabwe, tobaleetera vidiyo. Maaso g'Omuganda bakugaagali mu ngalo akugaye njagala kulaba ku Kabaka. Mumubaleetera ka vidiyo akapangirire ne mukafunira ne ba brand ambassador. Ka vidiyo ako kanzijukiza amawa ga bujingo. Mwafunye influencer bagenda okumatiza abantu nti kano ka vidiyo katuufu. Nedda bambi. No one is going to stop us. Ne bwe munatukasukira insults ezenkanawa. Abantu bakugambye baagala mutanda. Bamulabe olabe wabawaddamu. Naye bannange amasomero gakyayina lina ejjoogo. Nali manye ejjoogo lyakoma mirembe gyaffe. Ani yasomako ku ssomero nga school fees omusasula naye nga n'okusoma ku Saturday nalwo olunaku lwa Saturday olusasula lwalo. Nga bw'oba onoosoma ku Saturday olina okujja n'ebisatu bya Saturday. Bw'otabireeta ate n'ojja n'osoma bakuwandiika mu kitabo ky'amabanja nga ebisatu ebyo bino bikiri yalinga ku Monday. Bw'otajja nabyo ku Monday baba ino embooko ziba zirina okukulya azifu gwe weeweerera. Ate bw'oyosa Saturday n'otagisoma ng'owa excuse munadde siina bisatu era embooko ziba zirina okukulya azifu gwe weeweerera. Kati liri n'essomero. Omwana bamususpendinze wiiki namba lwakugaana kwatendinga pate yategekeddwa essomero n'adoojinga pate mu bugenderevu. Kati suspenge eweddeko ng'akomawo alina okujja n'omuzadde ku ssomero. Ba ex-students ne ba ex-pupil mukajjukirako bwe bakutuma omuzadde. Embooko teyabulanga mu equation ng'omuzadde azze ku ssomero. Kati akawaayira akalala ayina suspenge eweddeko ayina okusasula fine ya $10,000 olw'okudoojinga pate y'essomero. Wakati nga school fees yeekanamye, requirements z'essomero nga zifuuse requirements bagasseeko n'engassi. Mujooga. Kati akawaayira akasembayo wansi ne kajja nti bw'oba ojja ku ssomero akageri kageri nti kakasa nti essomero kwolwo alina okuba na ku zero balance in case bw'aba abadde abanjibwayo fees z'essomero. Terms and conditions apply. Bannange lino essomero lyetaaga okukola ennongoosereze mu ssemateeka waalyo. Ssemateeka mumyumyule nnyo. Mujooga. Kati njagala olipurayinge nga omuzadde w'omu Lubigi gy'okolera State Council yakugobaganyizza ne mu Lubigi baakumenye. Then n'ofuna ebbaluwa y'essomero eno. Reply as a parent from Lubigi who is residing in Lubigi. Bamalaya abatunda susu waabwe twegattire wamu tubajagulizeeko kubanga gavumenti yo yeewaddeyo mulimu gwabwe guyirewo omubiri egusefugading okuva eri abagwira bayingire mu bizinensi endala zonna zino baziyingiremu naye obwamalayo omulimu gw'obwamalayo bagulekere bannayuganda kuba gwo basobola okugukola gino emirala ne bwe mugiyingiramu gikyatawaanya bannayuganda naye ogwo gavumenti esazeewo ega nti guno mugulekere bannayuganda bagusobola.
Bana obuduuka buno obutonotono obutunda kyakala tulina abantu abatunda abakola n'ekyutex tulina bano n'abeetunda wali nga oyingira ku university wenyini twasanga abawala beetunda etugamba kino kuno omulimu mwandikulegedde at least bannayuganda kubanga nabo bakusobola tosobola kuva eyo n'ojja ne weetundira wano e Uganda ova eyo gy'ovudde ojja weetundira wano ewaffe tetugenda kukiikiriza ekyo.
Shakira yatugambye graduate naye yava mu America n'oba graduate bwe najja abonabonera e Kampala Uganda awo kantuule notuula wabula n'ova mu America n'olinya ennyonyi seemusi bbiri n'okoma wabonabonera obufirika mazima ddala nze maybe goals zanjawulo kati era nga Shakira goali ye weeri okubonabonera e Uganda ndisiranko muyimbi abonaabona Shakira I don't have kind words for you but of course I don't hate you. Byoyisemu mbitegeera. You've suffered, madam. You've been in this industry. Nze ndowooza oba wajja ne Spice tebanajja nze nzijukira. Ba Spice ndo nayimba. Spice ayimbye n'akuba ebyalo n'akuba zihiti balidiya babuuze ground. Ogibaddeko nabo. Oleko emyaka nga 10. Ng'oli waneeno toba. N'olusanya lwoyogerako lukusinga n'erinnya lusinga n'erinnya saa zino olusanya n'endukolera YouTube lusobola okuba hit n'olusinga ennyimba za Shakira zonna ku YouTube g'osaga ne ground eyo gye bayita struggle is real ate struggle eba ku ground. Osegedde tusobola okukola YouTube ne tukusinga following just kigambo primary saniya nga luli eyo kiri eyo tuteekayo ndowooza just mmere nga tugikutte abantu ne babiraba ne batalaba doctor egyo emyaka ne height oba obunene bw'oliko n'obuwanvu oli bagamba muwanvu naye abamu bagamba mumpi omutwe gwe wesese piki kuli kubonaabona mutwe M13 sepiki sepiki y'omutwe nesa kumenya bwetyo good. What kind of what kind of hustling is that? Oh my God.
This is my mababu. Sorry. My president's campaign poster for 2027. My president is already campaigning for year 2027 election. This one he got 4 years. He has barely done 1 year, just 1 year. And hunger, nja, umaskini Pro Max, and umaskini Pro Max plus want to finish Nigerians. Instead of him to think how to solve the rising inflation and the cost of living. He's already thinking how to campaign for 2027. You see how the mind of African politicians work.
There is God. Oh.
You see how their mind work.
There is God in everything we are doing.
Hungry is killing your people. People can barely feed. Instead of thinking how to solve their problem, you are thinking how to campaign for 2027 when you are barely done 1 year.
There is God. Oh.
You know the irony? Nigerians will still vote. They will still vote him. Because they have used hunger as a tool for control. When it gets to 2027 now, they will share 4 packs of Indomie. And for 5,000 naira.
There is God in everything we are doing.
The same people that are crying of hunger now, if they manage to survive, if hunger don't kill them before 2027, they manage to survive to 2027, they will give them 3 packs of Indomie and 5,000 naira and maybe salt. They will still go and vote. Why? Because suffer no they tire Nigerians. Suffer no they tire Nigerians. This is why I'm so proud of Kenyan youths. Every day I say it, I'm so proud of you guys. I'm proud of you. Here, if they slap us, carry wood, wipe us, do whatever they like to us, Nigerian youths will keep quiet like Mumu. I said the suffer never reach. Don't worry. 2027, they will still vote. They will still vote these same people. They will